Hello everyone, welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Tonight we're going to have episode 16 of The Coin Vault Has Opened. I've pulled another box out and it's all flipped coins, all wheat cents I believe. I can pretty much see some 1950s. Most of these are probably going to be kind of AU to BU, probably a bunch of problem coins. I thought I was going to retire off of most of these coins when I put them aside, but we have no idea what's going to be in them. They were all coins I put away about 10-20 years ago, and so we'll take a look at everything kind of from a little bit of a distance here at first, and then we'll definitely zoom in and look at all the ones with mint marks, check out, see if we can find RPMs, and if we find anything cool along the way, we will take a look and see if we can figure out what's going on with them. This one looks like it's got a couple little scratches kind of on the right wheat stalk here. But for the most part it looks like a near brown coin, red-brown. Looks like it's a original mint luster. It's toned pretty much on the entire coin. The only places where it's really seen red is around the higher devices. So that one I'm not seeing anything jump out on us, so we will put it in the pile to look at the mint mark a little closer. This one almost looks like there's a little possible planchet flaw right below, right behind Lincoln's head. Just looks like their metal wasn't fully there. It could just be a spot. It could be a brown spot. We can check that out a little bit closer. Not looking like anything too fancy. This coin almost looks brown, except for there does look like there is some wear on some of the higher devices, like Lincoln's chin and his cheek. We'll take a look at the reverse. This one too looks like there is some little scratches on the reverse. Probably another coin that was in the bag. I searched thousands of bags of 5,000 count unsearched wheat bags from eBay. Hey Les Likes Coins, welcome. How are you doing tonight? I've still got that that box that I believe has world coins in it, and I keep meaning to schedule a video for it, but I keep ending up doing these The Vault Has Opened episodes. This mint mark looks like there's something inside. It could just turn out to be a little bit of crud. We'll definitely put that in our mint mark pile to check out, unless there's something else on this coin. The reverse almost looks like it's got a little bit of a wood grain to it. I don't believe it is from cleaning. I'm doing pretty good. I definitely woke up feeling crummy today though. Let me see if I can focus my camera. Seems like the scissors, they sharpen the image. I did see yesterday in the news that we have coronavirus in the county that I live in now. So we are part of the US that has coronavirus. So that brightened up my day, and then to wake up feeling sick, I pretty much was on my back most of the day. I did not think I was going to be doing any videos for you guys, and I had gotten everything done yesterday, and I thought I was going to be able to do a stream, and I was feeling kind of that off feeling, like I knew my body was fighting something, and it was just kind of an odd cold where I wasn't able to sleep all night long. But here I am after no sleep, feeling ill all day, and about the time that the sun went down, I started to feel better. This one's got an interesting looking R on it. I'm guessing that it got struck by something right on the R and it just pushed the metal over. I've never seen anything with like a doubling. I mean, it doesn't look doubling. It looks like it's probably just been damaged. Yes, the corona. So who knows? Maybe I am one of the newest corona victims. So Enjoy me while you can. I could be gone tomorrow. Let's hope not. But I don't know whether things are being downplayed in the media, but it doesn't feel like people are too concerned about it. And that almost makes me more concerned. It's like I see the way that they're taking precautions in China, and it doesn't seem like anything is really, I don't hear people worrying as much as they should be. So that's either a good thing or a really bad thing. We'll find out. If I disappear, definitely check out storage locker sales, storage unit sales around here, because there might be some nice deals with storage unit full of coins. It's kind of hard to pay your storage unit fees when you die. In the last box, it looked like we were getting a lot of 1951 Ds, and quite a few of them looked like they had a little bit of extra metal on the mint mark. So we're gonna, after I'm done tonight, I'm gonna go to like coppercoins.com and varietyvista.com and check out and see if any of them match anything. Hey, Ann Laria TV show, welcome. Welcome. We're just getting started with our second stream. We did episode 15 right before this one, and it just seems like if I go about an hour and a half, 2 hours, that's just about perfect. And then it's time for me to get another drink and just catch up on life. I was glad I did, because when I went on eBay, there was like a ton of offers, and so in between the two streams, I sold a bunch of coins. Seems like these 1954 S's, like pretty much everyone, just the way the mint mark is, they all look like they've got something special going on with them. And 1954S is the one that we found an RPM on. And maybe we can find that same RPM, but one in a little bit better condition, because it's a really beautiful repunch mint mark. Grab some tea, take care of myself here. Nice, yeah, Les has some videos of some world coins. This one looks kind of interesting. This S mint mark looks much different, and look how long that 4 is. It's like a super 4. Almost looks like there's a little piece of metal right above the date as well. Our last show was a little bit quiet. We had some nice people in it. But I think starting a stream at 6 p.m. on a Friday night, I got a lot of competition, and I just stream when I can, and so I'm not really worried about quiet streams. Hopefully we'll have some lively fun tonight. And the only problem with doing all these streams is that I miss out on everyone else's live streams when I do a bunch of these. And I really enjoy seeing what everybody else does. But hopefully the coronavirus isn't going to come and get me here. It sounds like they've isolated, or the people have self-isolated themselves. But it sounds like they were in the community here for about 3 weeks. And so that sounds like a lot of time for people to come in contact. And if it doesn't show symptoms and is contagious, it seems like that's a lot of time for stuff to pass around before all of a sudden you have a full-blown epidemic. So I think my plan is to just make coin videos and stockpile food and just kind of be my hermit that I normally am here. and let everything blow over. Yeah, I think it's something about the S mint mark on this date that just, things love to just hide inside it. Like little pieces of crud, and then it looks like there's something cool on the coin. So far here, like, it looks like there's only 2 coins I've put off to the side to look at closer, and other than that, we will just get to look at some mint marks. This one also looks like it's got a very kind of long 4, kind of a ghost 4. But if you look at like trust and stuff, it looks like it's pretty smashed up. It looks like everything's getting pushed towards the outer devices, so I'm guessing it's just machine damage from die deterioration. It definitely seems like I found a lot of 1940 or 1954 S's to look at. And one of the things I was thinking about too is that I should probably start labeling when I do find things on these coins. So when I go back through them again, I don't have to check them out as in much detail. And also label the boxes for what episode of the coin vault has opened, so that I don't even have to take out the coins. I can just go back and watch the video again myself, and then go and retrieve the coins from the boxes if there's anything else. Some nice environmental damage there. I'm wondering if I have any boxes in the vault that are just like Indian head cents and stuff. It seems like Indian head cents are like one of the areas I never really heavily collected in raw form. Most of the Indian head cents that I've gotten have been graded. I believe that's just a couple scratches. It almost looks the same width as... It almost looks like the same width as the wheat stalk. But I don't see any other signs of kind of doubling on it. It looks like a rather weak strike as that, like the half the O is barely even there. I guess the one happy thing this morning is when I checked my hours on here, I am finally over 1,000 hours of watch time. So I'm a quarter of the way there. I've just gotta do a few hundred more shows and I could get another 3,000 hours of watch time. And then not only will I be having fun, but hopefully I'll make a couple pennies as I look at pennies. We're going to have a lot of mint marks to look at. Seems like pretty much every coin here is either a Denver or a San Francisco so far. And there has definitely been a couple of them that look like we should look at them closer. But most of them seem like about AU to BU with some form of damage. It's interesting how faint the E and the E pluribus is, yet there's a nice full strike on the O. I feel like normally if you're missing one, you're missing both. This one looks like it's got a little bit of toning. Looks like the 6 is a little bit flat. Perhaps it got struck by something. Couple scratches on the reverse. It's probably not a super high grade. I don't know if that 6 is damaged, but otherwise it almost looks like it could be like an MS60 or MS61 or something. Maybe it's just an AU. There's a little bit of wear on his cheek. This one is probably a full brown. It looks kind of red, or it looks kind of red-brown, but I don't think it is. A little bit of nicks on the rim. Otherwise, the reverse looks pretty nice. Where's all our cuds? Where's all the cool stuff I put away? I feel like we're gonna hit some boxes that are just gonna be like super, super awesome, and I'm just waiting for it. I'd hate to think that I looked through 25 million coins and then I just saved the cleaned ones and the damaged BU ones. It gave away all the errors. I think that's about the third one where we've had that like kind of like very long 4 kind of. I should maybe see if Chuck has a video on copper coins of a solid date 1954 SBU. I'm sure he has. I feel like it's one of the easier years to get in BU, and just kind of see what he's looking for and what he's pointing out as double dies. I really just need to start doing these. The dies aren't identical for different mints. Like many different dies were used. Basically, when the dies get worn out, they get retired. And so usually when the die starts to deteriorate, it's just the date and the mint and all the details start to get kind of sloppier and sloppier. They start to look a little bit doubled. They get pressed into the edges. Sometimes I think they're able to just replace one of the dies, like the reverse will wear out before the front does, and so it will receive a new reverse die for it. But they used a lot. Like if you're watching Copper Coins, like he's so good, he's able to like spot a little scratch on the coin that's on the die that ends up raised on the coin. And so he uses them as die markers, and on some episodes while watching him, he'll point out like 8 to 10 different dies. Like he'll be like, oh, we've seen this die before. And then it's really handy because when there's a known double die or a known repunch mint mark or something, he will be able to tell that it's the same die that has it, because he'll know all the markers. And so before he even sees that it's a double die, he'll be like, oh, we've seen this coin before. Which is really cool. And it's also cool because like some of the, like I feel like some of the minor ones, that one's kind of interesting. Almost looks like there's another tail of the 9. It might just be a piece of dust inside the flip. It almost looks like it has a shadow. So I spoke too soon. But one of the cool things about learning all the different dies is some of the markers, like say there's a coin on eBay and it has like some rare varieties, he'll be able to recognize, like, or if you know the markers might, if they're like a bad photo, you might be able to see the markers on the coin, even though the photo is not close enough to see the specific error that you're looking for. And so by knowing all the different markers on the coin, you can actually see stuff. What is that? Is this just another little piece? Yes, it is. The dust is playing tricks on us. And so the dies, I believe, are all made from the master die. They're all hubbed from the master die. But different things happen in the hubbing processes. Like, I feel like I still can't explain it, even though it's been explained to me many, many times now. But I believe when the master die, I believe that they like, well, how would you say it? They like hub the master die and then they use the hub to make the different dies. And so like a double die like will happen when they're making the die, the hub will move slightly. And then the die ends up getting made with the double die. But they're all supposed to be the exact same design. There's a couple dates, like I think in the 90s there's like the wide AM and the close AM. And there's a couple dates where they used the wrong, like one of the wrong dies, like they used like the proof die design and stuff. And so then those make that one rare because it was they only made a mistake on one of the dies. But sometimes they use the wrong die to make a coin, and then that can make a rarity. And pretty much what I need to do is I need to, read Chuck's book, and I need to write everything down. I need to look at examples of exactly what all the things are being talked about. I have to do things repetitively and use them somehow to like be able to, it's just the way I learn. Like I can read something, someone can tell me something, but until I like apply it to real life, I have a hard time really absorbing that knowledge and being able to like teach it. But once I learn it, then it becomes solid. But I have a lot of learning to do still. And every time I've been looking at coins, pretty much every show I've done here, like somebody helpful has come on the channel and pointed something cool out to me. And so I've been really appreciative of that. And I feel like if we do see another 1954S with a repunchment mark for the 004, is that a lamination error or just a scratch? Let's look at this one closer. Put it in the closer pile for when we're done here. Looks like Lincoln had a bad day at the mint. Got quite the scratch on his head. Another one of those cool ones where the S is touching the 5. I think other than it looking cool, I don't think there's anything there. But we'll find out. We shall take a closer look when we're done with this box. And part of me is almost feeling like we should just look at everything up close from the beginning, but I just feel like there's things that I miss on the coins if I don't know to look for them. And so that's why, like, if something looks like it might be a lamination error or something, it really helps to have it in a pile where I know to take a closer look at all aspects of it instead of just knowing that there's a couple things we need to look at. That scratch just looks weird, but because it's so red and bright on that left wheat stalk, I think that it's just a scratch. I think that would probably be like a hybrid, like a transition hybrid or something like that. I think there is. I think I saw that video too. That would definitely be a cool one. It would definitely pay to check the reverse of every single wheat cent that you get, or every single 1959 memorial cent, rather. And I'm not sure if I've ever heard of a 1958 memorial cent, but that would be interesting too if there was one. I don't know if they produce mints all the way, or produce coins all the way till the end of the year, or even into the next year. I imagine by the time the next year begins, it's like this one's almost touching, but it almost looks like there's a little piece of metal in between the S and the 5. Yeah, it seems like anytime they do make like a major change in the coin, it always presents that possibility that there will be a mess up. Some environmental damage on this one. We'll watch it be one with like an RPM on it or something. It's probably a piece of dust. Yep. I feel like the dust for some reason seems to be like showing up as copper color most of the time. Looks like this one has maybe been cleaned just a little bit. I mean, like, it looks like the features on Lincoln's face are a little worn down. It might not be. It might just be from me fingering it. It looks like there is a little bit of fingerprint on Lincoln's head, and I'm guessing that's probably what darkened the top right field as well. It's probably me. I'm a coin killer. I've been since I was a kid, since I started hammering in wheat cents into Whitman folders because my fingers couldn't press them into the holes, because the Whitman folders that I bought were probably cheap because the whatever machine cuts the holes was like wearing out and not making the holes big enough. That one rotated? No, okay, it's just not centered on the other side either. I can't remember if I had a dream that I found a coin with heads on both sides, or if I actually found one, or if it turned out to just be like a magic trick coin. But that would always be a cool coin to find too, if you found one with like heads on both sides. It would probably most likely be like man-made. Someone would have like cut one in half and like put them together somehow. So far, it looks like this entire box has been 56D and 1954S. We'll check out. It kind of looks like a piece of dust inside. I want to see it up close. But I don't think I've ever seen a T with a tail on it like that. Be kind of cool if you could like automate a machine to, one second. Seems like I gotta sharpen the focus every little once in a while on the camera. Hey Y2 Zula, Reaper Z, welcome. Thank you for the support, thank you for the love, thank you for smashing that button. 4:20 a.m. there. Yes, do get some sleep if it is. I will probably still be going when you wake up in the morning. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming this weekend. I woke up feeling ill, but it does not appear to be the coronavirus, even though the coronavirus is in town here. So hopefully it's just a 24-hour cold, because I am back on my feet, and I've got pretty much the entire weekend to stream, so I'm gonna try to do an incredible amount. I have like a huge pile of PCGS coins I've got to get posted and make videos of too. And so I should be doing a lot of stuff. Alright, have a good night. Sleep well, have good dreams. Sleep of finding awesome coins or whatever makes you happy. Dreaming is a fun time. And I think I've got enough time, Les, that I can probably do just a long stream looking through that box, because I think it's the other box of world coins that I have. I did find it. I think it's probably like 200-300 coins in it, so it's probably going to take a lot longer than the last one did. But it would be cool to find. And I actually found some world coins just like kicking around the house. I'm like, where'd you come from? But the other video we did, that was a lot of fun to get to see. And it also like it seemed like I got a lot of people from the countries that they were, just randomly people were here from different countries that we had coins to look at out, and they were able to be like, oh, that's from me, or that's from my country. That'd be a kind of cool mail call show too, if people all sent in just like common change from their country, or cool stuff. But I mean, even if they just sent in like, you know, the lowest denomination stuff, you know, didn't cost them much, we can make some cool videos. Because normally you don't get to see that kind of stuff unless you travel the world. Yeah, there's only, well, actually the press releases here are pretty vague about the corona. Like the press release says one person confirmed in Humboldt County. And then you read it and it says the CDC has confirmed that the individuals have self-quarantined themselves and a possible person with exposure. But it sounds like they've been in town for 3 weeks. And if you don't show symptoms you cannot show symptoms for a couple weeks before, like, you know, tomorrow there could be 10, you know, and then 50, and then they won't say what town. It's like everything's confidential, so they won't say what town or where they've been, who might be at risk. Is it someone from your school? Should you send your kids to school? You know, like, is it someone from your church? Like, is it you know, like, did they eat at a restaurant? Like, it just seems like it'd be nice information to know. You know, I believe in people's privacy, but I feel like they can give some information out. Hey, Paul Hampton, welcome. We are having our second stream tonight. It looks like everything from this box so far has been 1954S and 1956D. We haven't found anything spectacular. We did go through another box earlier, and it was just all over the place. I started to look through some of the boxes, and most of the boxes are everywhere, like when we were talking the other night, that it might be easier if I divide up everything. But one of the problems too is that there would be like 5 or 10 of this coin, and then there would be like 100 of another coin, and it seemed like only a few dates it seemed like there was a lot of some. So like, say like 1954S, I'd probably definitely be able to do just a few of these episodes where we just look at 1954S. But I liked your idea there of like doing all the different dates, so that could look and check out all the varieties before and people could go to different variety listing pages and be able to look out for different things at the same time. I thought that was really smart. For some reason I felt like I could see like lines going the other way. I don't see it now. But so far we haven't found any cuds. We haven't found anything super crazy interesting. How's your night going, Paul? I feel like the most news is that there's coronavirus in the county I'm in California. And I almost thought it was another hoax, because when it first came out there was a hoax here. And then wouldn't you know it, and so I was waiting for it to be a hoax, but then on CNN I saw that they mentioned Humboldt County as being one of the new places. So awesome. So I figure this weekend I'm just going to make a bunch of videos. It's interesting. There's like a little mark below the mint mark. I mean, at the moment I'm just checking out the coins here, and then it's pretty much every single one has a mint mark on here, so I'm gonna zoom up on some things. Like I think every single one is, so every one kind of deserves at least a little bit closer. And I did start putting stuff in a different box, and I was also thinking that after I make a video, I can always go, I can keep everything in a box and kind of record which video the box is, and then I can kind of roll search from the videos themselves as well. And I can like stop and pause things, because it seems like if I was to stop and be looking at a bunch of different pages, there would just be some long spaces in between in the videos. But still figuring this out. I was also thinking like Chuck's, he's got quite a few videos out of different solid date rolls, and I could probably just watch one of those either before or after I do the stream, preferably before, and kind of check out the different things that he's pointing out on the coins, and it would give me some more knowledge. Ah, we got a 1953S. I spoke too soon. Yeah. I'm for the most part a hermit, so it's not like I go out too crazy much. But at the same time, like, it's like, I like produce, I like fruits and veggies and stuff, and all it takes is one person. I don't know. It's, I feel like this area is horrible too, because everybody gets like what's called the Humboldt crud. And it's just this like kind of like long, awful sounding cough that lasts for months, and it happens usually like, in the winter months where we still are. And so when I go out, next time I go out into public, everybody's just going to be like coughing and hacking. And it's just going to feel like there's an epidemic around. I mean, even though, it's not an epidemic yet per se, but there is some nasty stuff. But there was already some nasty stuff going on around here. Who, Chuck? Chuck D? I'd imagine he has to have looked at a million, or I'm sorry, like a billion coins. Like, I mean, it seems like he started like at least 10 years before I did. It seemed like really seriously doing it. Um, and I know I've looked at like over 25 million just from like wheat penny bags, like the 5,000 counts. And then I don't even know how many rolls I've gone through. And then like all of the bank boxes and stuff. Like I used to like just go to the bank with like a hand truck and just take every single one they had and go to the next bank and take every single one they had. And I'd have like friends help me do like relay races with like canvas bags into the casino and just dump them all. Because I just, I used to hand roll everything. I almost bought a rolling machine. But then I just found it was cheaper, especially since I was able to make money off the copper ones. It was just cheaper to take a 5% hit on the coins. But yeah, Chuck's got to have looked at a lot, and he doesn't seem like he's slowing down. And I did run into a bunch of like coin books. I think I still have my original one, but I'm spacing on the name of it actually. It's like the brown book with like the sliders inside it. Is it a Danco maybe? Or Danco or Dasco? But I think I have a pretty nice collection in it. I think it's missing the 14D, and I think it's missing the 1909 SVDB. But I was thinking about pulling that out and making sure that it was like still intact and not falling apart. See how it's holding up. It would kind of give me an idea of if all these coins were actually the way we're seeing them now, or if they're all kind of going downhill due to the environment. Like I definitely try to keep the humidity stable and the temperature stable. But it's a little bit hard to know. I mean, coins are just going downhill all the time anyway, just by themselves. Yeah, it looks like we randomly ran into some 1931s here. Could just need more tea, I think that's what's going on. Drinking some mint lemon honey tonight because I went to bed feeling weird and I definitely woke up with a cold this morning. So I'm just giving fair warning if I disappear, coronavirus. If I disappear for more than a day without like coming on and being like I'm going on vacation or something. I feel like we saw one kind of like this the other night. Dansko. Yeah, it's like a brown folder with like the see-through sliders. It opens like a book and you turn the pages in it. And you can pop a coin in and then stick the slider back in and it keeps them from falling out. Some wet ink. Coin number 2 or 02530 W. I used to like serialize everything. It made it way easier. We need to start finding some cool coins. Looks like a weak strike on this one. There's a lamination error. It's always funny how the lamination errors don't look nearly as impressive sometimes up close. It's like, I guess I could just take a look at some of these. Like, it's like by the time I've written an E on it, it definitely means I should probably take a closer look at it. Guess that was the whole purpose of writing E on it, right? Like some of them have like E, E, E. Like it's like, what's going on with that one? Is that a rim ding? Or a little cud? It's like the funny thing about like the cuds is a lot of them seem like they get flattened. It's like the funny thing is like sometimes I see like coins that are specifically like lamination error pointed out, like it, say in a PCGS graded slab, and I feel like nobody wants them. Like people see the lamination error and they don't bid on it. They're like, I want a normal one. And that always surprises me. Alright, so that is, at least we found one lamination error in there. It's funny, like I feel like when I look at it on the replay video over here, things actually look, like the coin looks clearer than when I'm looking at it through OBS. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't have the light on. Let me get a good light today. Please. So I believe that is not a good light. That's a little better. Just need it to stay. Is this the lamination? It was on top. I'm not seeing anything on that one. This one's flipped over, so I think this was the cud. Maybe not a cud. If it is a cud, it's a very, 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 very small cud. So we'll just flip it over and check out the mint mark. That one's kind of interesting. I see something there. I see something on the top, like an extra layer on the top, and then I see yeah, I think that one looks like an RPM. There's a full split on the bottom, there's a split on the top, and then there's an extra piece of metal going through the bottom. Sweet, we found one. I mean, I feel 99% sure that I'm seeing that. Like we've got the full thing. And what's the quality of the coin? Maybe a little. That might be dust. Little something on the thing. It's maybe AU. Some wear on him. But here, where's my pen? Right? It's gone. Okay. Hey Theo T. So we just started going through the mint marks here, and this one definitely looks like a repunch mint mark to me. It's got a split serif on the top and the bottom and something in the middle. So I'll put this one aside and we will take another look at it in a minute. But that's kind of cool. I feel like we've been looking through some. Oh, that was a 53S too. We don't have an RPM for 53 yet. Why does this one look like it's the same thing? I don't know if this is one, it's not as clear. This one might just be scratched and banged up. Oh no, there definitely feels like there's something in between the top and the bottom, but that one is curved. Is that just me? That is not a straight one. Maybe I am not familiar enough with the 1953. Alright, we'll put that one in. Okay, wait, so we weren't even, that wasn't even one, so this is the lamination error that we found. So it's got some, is there anything going on? Yeah, did you see the one with split serifs? 'Cause I can go, I did put it on the side here. But I don't think this one is here. I'm going to put that in the error pile so that I can check it out. What was up with this one? It's flipped over on the back. I was thinking that that might, I'm not sure if that's a planchette flaw or a lamination error. But there definitely looks like there is a chunk missing from it, and it looks like that, it looks like the N is like right on top of it. So this one looks like a 5060. Kind of looks like there's a little scratch on the bottom. This one's not jumping out at me. The other one definitely jumped. I want ones that jump. This one had something. Okay, we'll go back to the date. There was something I wanted to look at on it. What could it be? Supposedly it was on the front. It's so hard, like sometimes things look like a little piece of crud in them. The flip totally stuck to my finger. I know, I think that's just a little piece of crud inside the mint mark. What was going on with this one? Yeah, okay, that was just a piece of dust on the T. A hard time getting an angle on this one, but at the same time, nothing is jumping out at me. We want ones that jump. Some cool colors on it. It almost looks like there's like some sort of little notch on it on the top left, but it could just easily be a scratch too. And so I guess I imagine it's like if you see something that looks like it could be, then you got to go back and like figure out how to find all the die dye markers and stuff. Scream loud, okay. Oh no, I'll put it in the maybe. I don't think there's anything there though. Alright, something on the reverse of this one. Perhaps a little dye chip. It looks like a lamination error up at the top. Or is that just a scratch? A really dirty, ugly scratch. Looks like there's some weird hairs on it too. Well, there's at least a dye chip in it at the very least. Maybe a couple dye chips. I don't know, this one looks like the S has been kind of mangled a little bit. There looks like there's a little piece of metal below it. It's like when there's crud in there, it's such a pain in the butt. Yeah, I guess if I put all the like kind of maybes in a box upon themselves, then it's like I can open up the flips and probably get a little bit closer. You're in Credland, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Credland. I feel like I like your rule though, like it's like if you don't see something like immediately, there's probably not anything there. Yeah, it's like I feel like I see something, and then it's like I feel like I don't see something. All over the place tonight. So, alright, start with these. Looks like we're going to have a bunch of 53s, we're going to have a bunch of 54s, and a bunch of 5060s. I feel like it's the flips that make it so that I can't quite focus, especially when there's like the little sparkle. But the one thing I guess I like about the flips is that we're not hitting the coin, we're not touching the coin. It's like we're, for the most part, able to look at the coin, but we're not damaging it. Hopefully. don't know, that one almost looks like there's like a little raised spot on the outside. I'm gonna put that one in the maybes. I think I'm gonna put this one in the yes. There's definitely something in between. There looks like there's quite possibly something above too. And then the light just gets really bad here. Like when I first looked at it, I feel like it's hard to get a good view on it, but there definitely seems like there, I don't know, for some reason it doesn't look like an S underneath it, but at the same time it must be. Hey, have a good night. Have a good night at work, Les. Thank you for stopping by. That one just looks like it's been damaged to me. It's like so hard when there's like a little scratch on it that then makes it look like there's something there. It's like I wish I could just see the corners on these. It would make it so much easier. Do. I say absolutely 004. Awesome. How's this one look? Just checking out the rest. But yeah, it looks like the very clear RPM with the zeros. I believe it's the 004 because this is the same 1954S that we found the other night. So this one looks a little bit skinnier in the midsection. But yeah, it's so much clearer. This one looks like it's in a little bit better condition too. The other one looked like it was maybe like extra fine. This one looks like a brown. This one looks BU, I believe. Worst it would be as AU probably. It looks like maybe a weak die strike. But yay. A definite go. A definite RPM. some of that dust. I'm not seeing anything, but funny thing is, like, I'm so like looking at the mint marks that I guess we already kind of looked at the coins. There's something underneath, but it almost looks like the S got damaged. It almost looks like the metal, I don't know, it's not jumping out at me like that last one was. I know that there's a lot of different kinds. This one has way too much junk. Just want to see that date again. Next. This one looks interesting. Like the bottom of the serif looks like it has a line. It looks like there's something in the mid and something. This is different than the other one we just looked at. I'd say yes. I'd say yes. 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 Say we found a different one. I'll have to look this one up. This one looks different. Looks like, what is it, a ball serif when there's a ball on the bottom. And so like the bottom, I'm losing focus. But I guess it's to the south. That's interesting though, because the inside is to the east. And then the one on the other part is on the west, and then the bottom is on the north. But still, it looks like there's something there to me. So we'll definitely we'll spend some time checking that out. I think that's one of the other things that I didn't know about. Like if I go on someone else's website and I'm making a video of their website and like looking at different, you know, like I feel like if like you made a video of like reading a book, you know, it's like copyright infringement. And so I didn't know if like I went on to somebody's website and was showing the different stuff, if that's considered copyright infringement or if it's free advertising for them. Can't tell if that's just shiny. I guess maybe the difference is if you're making money on it. I know from a couple angles this one looked like there was something there. But from most I don't see anything. I keep losing focus. Alright, we're going to put that in the maybe. We're going to try not to spend more than a minute. We've definitely found 2 RPMs. And I guess it's just if we've got like 50 of them here, we might as well just see how many we can find quickly. That one looks like there is a line on the edge. I guess, does it disappear? Looks like there's something underneath. I'd say this one is a strong candidate. I'm just trying to look at how this luster is all hanging out here. It's like this one kind of reminds I think that this is one. I just don't know which one it is. I mean, it almost looks like it's kind of similar to the 004, but it almost looks like it's missing a piece of it. This one looks like a yes. Is this? Come on, give me a view. I don't know, I definitely see a piece of metal raised up in the midsection, and I want to say I see one in the bottom there. This one's bright. There is some environmental damage. Almost looks like there's something to the north. I know, I think that is one. We're just gonna have to find out what they are. I feel like the S's are easier to see stuff on than the D's. I don't think I see anything there. Hey Fred Carson, welcome. We're just, we've gone through all these coins, just looking to see if there's anything else with them, and now we're taking a closer look and just seeing if there's any RPMs, and we definitely found a couple. I do see extra metal there on the bottom, but I don't know. Almost looks like there's a split on the bottom section as well. I'm not seeing anything on the top. You know, anything that has like an extra piece of metal in there, I'm gonna put in the maybe pile for sure. This one looks kind of interesting too. It looks like the bottom part's been flattened, so it looks like there is some damage. Can we find anything else going on with it? That 9 looks, it's got some machine damage. That 4 looks interesting. Maybe that's just crud on the 4. I don't know. For some reason I'm going to put this one in the maybe. There's just a lot of crud in there, and I don't want to spend 10 minutes spinning this one. It looks like there's something directly in the middle and underneath on the top. It's interesting, some of them seem like they're way lighter. Like some of them it seems like the metal is more raised up, and some of them are just like shallower. And then it's like, and then some of them just seem like they disappear when you rotate them, which is never a good sign. Here, I want to look at the one, I think that this is the one, I just want to look at one. No, that's not it. Oh no, I see, that's not what I'm looking for though. Did I put it in a different pile? No, okay. Yeah, so that one is definitely one. Like that's the 004. Like, I want to be able to see things that I'm like, yes. Let's find a couple more of these. Look at those, I guess those could maybe be like die markers where it's just like, I mean, maybe a ton of them are published that way where it's just like straight up and down. Alright, we got a bunch left to go here, so I'll try to keep it moving for you all. I'm not seeing anything. Next. Is it damaged? This one looks a little squished. However, I'm definitely seeing something underneath on the top. It's not quite as strong as the other one. I don't think it's the 004. This one is a little damaged though. I feel like the 004, the mint mark was way skinnier. It was like a different style. It's like it's there and then it's not there. I don't know if it's going to disappear like that on me. It's going to the maybe pile. Do. It's just not doing it for me. Or maybe pile's getting big. I feel like this whole box was a maybe pile to begin with. It's like so hard when like the mint luster kind of likes to hang out in all the little nooks. I don't think I see anything there. If you guys ever see something that I don't, there's a 30-second lag, so we'll probably drive each other crazy, but I was gonna say I could like zoom into the number on the coin every time. Hey Moonstone Mamas, welcome. Yes, I was absent tonight. I did not plan on doing Thursday or Tuesday, but then I was able to pull it off on Monday and Tuesday, and so I thought I was gonna, but I was feeling like I was getting sick last night, and I woke up sick this morning, and I'm surprised I'm actually here tonight. Like today was definitely scheduled. And I thought I was going to be able to get away with it last night, but I woke up feeling ill. I pretty much until like sunset, I had a headache and just everything felt wrong. I think it was burning. Thank you. Well, I missed being here too. I definitely enjoy this. And it's like I almost wish that I had just done it last night because I wasn't feeling good. But I swear I just laid in bed all night long and just didn't feel good, and I might as well have been streaming not feeling good. But I've also streamed in the past when I played games, and I kind of felt like it was like painful for people to watch. That's an interesting 5 here. It's got like not only does it almost touch, but there's like a, I don't know, the 5 has like a fang hanging down from it. Well, that's what I figured. I figured I was starting to not feel very good, and I felt like Almost looks like the 9 has like 2 tips coming off of it, and then the 1 has like a line. I felt like, okay, well, I have all weekend to stream and make videos, so maybe I should take care of myself tonight, because if I don't, like, I think half of what was making me not feel good was I had been like getting up super early in the morning and then streaming till past midnight, and I'm not a little boy anymore. I turn into a pumpkin past midnight, and I usually feel it. But the funny thing is, that didn't happen all week, and then it did the one night that I didn't do anything. And so I believe, unless like hell freezes over, I believe I'm going to be on for most of the weekend. I've got like a huge stack of PCGS coins I've got to make videos of, to get my eBay store caught up, but at the same time I have tons and tons of these to make videos of, and I don't really care what I'm doing as long as I'm looking at coins, and even better is that I get to look at coins and talk with people, because normally I would just be looking at coins by myself. The 9 took a hit at the bottom of the leg. What is going on? Oh, you watched a rerun? Thank you. Yeah, that's one of the things I figure if I do like 20 episodes this weekend, if I just go nuts and make a ton of videos, people will, on days that I miss things or whatnot, people will have something to watch. Thank you so much, Moonstone Mamas. There's a place there's a place up here in Humboldt called Moonstone Beach, and I don't know, for some reason when I see the Moonstone Mamas, I remember, but yeah, every time I see your name, I think of that beach. It's a really nice beach. Unfortunately, I've never found a moonstone there, but there's another beach near here called Agate Beach, and you can find tons of agates just washing up on the shore. I always get my shoes wet trying to get them. One of these days the ocean is going to get me. So we did manage to do one stream earlier tonight too, and it's looking like I might get to do a third one tonight. Probably got about a half an hour left here with this one, and then I'll probably take a short break, make another cup of tea. I'm drinking some honey mint, lemon tea, and trying to take care of myself. But I think that this will be the first weekend that I've just been able to make videos all weekend. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then I don't know. People keep saying, let's do something. Come on, all you do is sit at your house and look at coins. Come on, there's sunshine out there. And there was sunshine out there. Excuse me. Excuse me. As you can see, I'm not perfectly healthy. Maybe I should put double honey and double lemon in the next one. This one is pretty worn. I've not seen anything. I feel like when we did find ones, I know this one, there's definitely a line in between there. I guess I just don't know if it's common for there to be a little piece of metal in between the tail, or if it's like definitely an RPM. I feel like I'm finding a lot that has a piece of metal, and I can see them with the naked eye. I don't even need to be under the scope here. I can see that there's metal there. It's just when I can't see the rest of the mint mark other than that. Yeah, I definitely try to balance. I should be getting out there to the ocean every day. This one looks like something. And just looking at it immediately, there's some metal underneath in the middle and on the top. I guess it's like, can we find a split on the bottom? Just a little hump on the edge. I guess I feel like I can see a split on the bottom on this angle. But it's like I know you turn stuff and it's like stuff likes to just disappear and reappear. I feel like this one kind of looks like the 004, except for it's wanting to disappear. I think that is one. I'd say we're having more luck tonight. Thank you guys for the good luck. I'm originally from the East Coast, but I've been out here in California for like 17 years, coming on 18 years now. It's another one of those ones, the 5 has a fang on it, and I don't know what else to call it. I don't really know what's going on. I like these 5s with like the fang with like the sharp part like hanging off of it. It almost looks like there's something to the west, but I can't. And it stays there even on the other light. It's definitely stronger looking on one side, but that's all I really see. Yeah, I feel like the 1004 that we were looking at, it was like all of like the dye polish, it was just all vertical. It just all went up and down on it. But I guess that like the dye polish could maybe be different on different ones. But like the ones that looked like a 004, I think definitely were. Yeah, I love going to the beach too. Like, the hardest part was like finding somewhere where I could be in the forest and go to the beach. And so it's like I found a place that I can walk to the beach through the forest from my house and it seems to work out perfect. Unfortunately, the coronavirus seems to like it here too. Hopefully, I don't know, it's like I don't have much faith in like the hospitals and the CDC here. So, it's like I want to believe that everything will be taken care of, but it concerns me. This area seems like somewhere where if it hit, it's going to be the epidemic, and it's hit here. Sweet. Yeah, so if I do disappear, the coronavirus is up here. But I'm sure I can make some videos from like my deathbed first. It seems like you still got a couple days even if it hits you. I don't know, I just, like on the East Coast, if like I was having any like medical issues, I'd go in there and like they would like know what was wrong. And like here, they're like, oh yeah, here have some itch cream, or like I don't know, they'll give you something ridiculous. Like it's like they just like hand someone like shampoo for everything. Oh, this one looks like there's like a very, very shiny D underneath it. But I'm guessing that is just, maybe it's like been struck really hard. That kind of looks like one. I feel like I haven't found an RPD from the Denver Mint underneath my microscope yet. I don't know, I did find like a modern penny that I put underneath there, but I think it was modern enough. But it looked just like it, but I don't think they punched mint marks at that date that I found it at, so I was all confused. I just like grabbed some pocket change to test it out. I think is that it right there? Hold on. I don't know, what do you guys think about this one? Is this just like a... Like I just found this one in the pocket change, like I just like pulled out my pocket before I started making any of these videos. And I was like, that looks like a RPM to me. Like it's like I can like see like a D over a D, and there's like parts inside. And but I kind of thought that was cool. And I can't remember what the date where they stopped punching mint marks. But Paul, if you are listening, I guess it's in Chuck's book, I can read it. But I thought that was cool. And so I want to imagine if I'm looking for something from the Denver Mint that it's going to look kind of like that. Alright, we'll go back to this one now. I don't know, kind of looks like it, but there's also nothing above. I think part of what bugs me about the coronavirus is like I feel like it looks like all hell is breaking loose in China, but it just like I feel like here everyone's like, oh, don't worry about it. And by the time they're like quarantining millions of people, and then it comes here and they're saying, oh yeah, the people are voluntarily quarantining themselves. Are they really voluntarily quarantined? And then it's like, why aren't we allowed to know what town they're in or where they visited? You don't have to tell me who it is, but like tell me, what places they stopped and ate on their way from China to where they are. Like, did they take an airplane? Did they take the bus up here? Did they drive and stop at gas stations? Did they go out to dinner somewhere? It sounded like they were in town for 3 weeks before they got diagnosed. Like, just like, little facts like that. Like, if they went to Subway in town, I don't think I want to go and eat at Subway for a month. I don't know. I try not to let stuff like that get to me. I try not to get like dramatic about stuff, but I just feel like they're not really releasing any information. This one looks kind of cool. Has it just been scratched? Do, 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 do. It's like the microscope keeps sliding on me. This one's a little different. I think that is one. It just looks different. Too many different kinds. There were so many different kinds when I was looking. I mean, I guess like one thing, it's like I feel like most of these coins I put away because I thought that I could see stuff in them. Some were just because they were better quality. But most of these coins I did look at underneath a loop. And so one of the reasons I could have put them away is because I thought I saw something in them. But I guess I wonder, like, you know, how rare some of these are. Because just because, like, PCGS doesn't have a high population of them, it doesn't mean that, like, somebody out there hasn't hoarded 1,000 of them and just not had them graded. I guess I could also look on eBay and see if I could just look up that specific one, see how many are on the market, how many of them are being sold. I could look at, like, Chuck open up a roll of them and see how many of them he finds in that episode of his show. Do, 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 do. I think I see any there. Sometimes I feel like it's confusing with, like when I'm watching someone else's show and I go and look at like participants, it'll show me like everybody who's in the room. But like sometimes when I like go on here, it'll be like there's 5 people watching. I'm like, oh, what, you know, who's in here? And it'll be like just me, and I'm like, wait, I thought there were a bunch of people in here. This one kind of reminds me, it's like I'm not seeing anything. But the 004, like it's got that like super skinny S. And maybe that's just the style of it. but it's like then there's like black gunk all around the coin. Maybe put that one aside and then look at the other one. I mean, I guess it would be interesting to find one that looks the same but doesn't have anything going on with it. That one almost looks like there's like a kind of notch at the bottom. It also kind of looks like it's been smooshed. Bum, 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 bum. That one kind of looks like there's something going on with it. I mean, it definitely does. It's just kind of weird. It kind of looks like the 004, but then it almost looks like there's like a third. It almost looks like there's another piece of metal underneath or in between. I feel like the S looks a little bit different than the 004. But I think I'm putting that one in the yes. This one, I feel like it's just dirt and debris. Dirt and debris. I feel like I get quieter when I'm looking for RPMs. It's like those like vertical die scratches like the other one had, but I don't see. Put that in the maybe pile. Maybe. That one looks kind of cool. Is that just grime though? Put that in maybe. I'm going to look at some 1950-60 RPMs after just to get some things. It's like, say when I'm agate hunting at Agate Beach, it's like you kind of look at, it helps to like know what you're looking for. It helps catch your eye. It's like I'll go and look at an agate before I go agate hunting. and then it kind of trains my eye to know what to look for. I feel like it kind of looks like it's split there at the bottom, and there looks like there is like a ridge down the back that I'm not seeing anything on it, the top half of it. This one's shiny there. No, I guess I'll put it in the maybe. Too many maybes. It's like, I feel like the maybes are turning into half the box. But I feel like we got like 4 or 5 yeses. Dun, 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 dun. I remember one time when I was like doing a video and a spider, like the little tiniest spider ran underneath the microscope, but I didn't see that. I saw the gigantic spider run in front of me on my computer monitor, and I was like, ah! And then I looked down, there it's just like, you know, one of the little tiniest spiders you've ever seen, but it was like, you know, it looked like it was like 3-4 inches wide underneath the microscope on the monitor. It was kind of hilarious. I don't think I'm seeing anything there. I just want it to be there. This one had like the extra, like kind of like 4. It was like the longest 4 I'd ever seen. It's like I'm not really afraid of spiders, but like that like totally caught me off guard. Like I could probably like stage it and like put some bugs underneath here and like really scare some people, but I don't think people come on here to get scared, so but that's amazing. I guess the whole reason I was thinking about it is because sometimes I see like little flakes of stuff on the coin jump around, especially when the flip is getting pushed. And I was like, oh, the last thing I need to do is see like bugs in my coins, like see like a little tiny bug running around. It's like coin mites. That'd be so awful if there were like little bugs that ate your coins. That'd be perfect for the government to make. It's like, yes, we've developed biological warfare that eats people's money, and it makes their money useless. So spend your money quick before we make it useless. I always find it humorous how the government says, you know, use our money. And then at the same time they say the only people that use money are criminals. And that's why they have like the laws where they can take away people's money. That one looks interesting. I'm like, why are you guys producing money for criminals if only criminals use cash? This doesn't make sense. Are you trying to promote criminal activity by creating money for them? What is this purpose? It's like modern money is kind of useless in some ways. I mean, fortunately we're still able to use it, but They've taken our gold from us for the most part. They've taken the silver out of the money. And now they've taken our copper out of our money, like, you know, the poor man. Like, first they take away the gold standard in like the 20s, and then in the 60s they take our silver out of circulation. And then they're like, how can we possibly take more money from, how can we take the wealth? Put that in the maybe pile. Sorry, I try not to be depressing on here. It's just like, it's like I see things happening. It's like if you like study history, anytime a country starts to remove precious metals from the currency, it's the decline of the civilization. It's when the government becomes too top heavy and they need more and more and more and more money from the populace to sustain the top heaviness of the government. You know, like I'm not trying to complain about government. I'm not trying to say I dislike government. It's just, I don't know. I know that there's really been no time exactly like the time we live in now at the same time. So, but I also, you know, so it's hard to compare, but I feel like history repeats itself. And I know that there's the old saying to it, like, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next, but other thing that scares me just is like, you know, it's like traditionally all throughout the civilization of human beings, every 100 years we have a massive, massive, massive kill-off, like a massive flu, some virus, some sort of black death. And the last one was 1918. And, you know, we're already basically statistically overdue. So that's, I guess, why, I don't know, like it seems like throughout history, like there's various forms of population control. Here I go. I'm going to take a break. I'm getting morbid. But I hope this isn't the case. I hope that, like, you know, I don't know, it's like, it's so hard because like the world is overpopulated. It's not going in a happy direction. There's only, you know, really, you know, it's at least we've got to stop populating more. And yeah, it's like we can barely sustain ourselves with how much there is, and I want people to have kids and have families and have lives, and I don't know. It's just a crazy, crazy world we live in. Why don't we take a look at a couple more of these maybes? What was this one? But I should probably take a break and I can get some more coins for us to look at. I feel like there was a lot of maybes this time. Maybe let's... Maybe. Let's see. I think that one looked like something. That one looked like something. That one looked like something. That one looks like something. Lamination error. That one looked like something. Too many somethings here. Something. It's like anything that I just can't see it. Oh, that's the one that had the guess it's probably just dye wear. That's definitely something. Right, so yeah, it did have like polishing marks going straight up and down. Jeez, how many did we find there? Kind of looks like something. Is that making kind of looking something pile up there, or just a second something? I just feel like we're finding too many, and I don't know what too many is. Like these all, you know, like I don't know which RPM they are, but they all look like RPMs. Definitely looks like something. I mean, I guess we have a bunch that don't look like something. I don't know if you're still listening, Paul. Are there, like kind of like how you get machine damage on the dates, will the mint mark do that too? Where like you just get like machine damaged mint marks? Where it just like there's a little extra piece of metal kind of doubling from it? Looks like there's something there in a lot of these. I mean, it's like on one side of things, like there's too many things that can go wrong in this world. We're running out of space, there's limited resources, as people get more and more crowded together, more things like this are going to happen as, you know, as different viruses and stuff become immune to antibiotics. We're going to have more and more stuff that we had cures for, causing chaos. And so, I mean, I feel like nature and the earth have basically balanced everything out over time. You know, like bunny rabbits didn't, you know, overpopulate the entire planet because nature made predators. You know, like it's like frogs didn't overpopulate the earth because they made predators. You know, like the temperature changes. I think those ones with the fangs are neat. 5 fang 5. I don't know, like little piece of, that might just be crud. I don't know, that one's still more of a maybe instead of a yes, I see something. That one just looks like it's like flattened or something. Bum, bum, bum. It's like, what's the little tip coming off the top? Put that in the maybe. Too many maybes here though. So I think my plan here is I've just got a couple of these left. I think I'm gonna end the stream here within the next couple minutes, and then I will be back to do another one in about 15 minutes. I'll just take a little break, make some more tea. Hopefully we can find some really cool things, and then after that stream I think I will try to find out some more information and find out what we've been looking at. It's like, you know, if I'm going through another of these 1956 Ds, I feel like And it's funny, I watched Chuck go through a roll of them the other day, so, but it's just his. I can see the notch when he goes up close on his, but it's like he's zoomed in like right on that notch. I'm just not able to see it. Alright, two more. So if you guys are wanting to join for another show, my guess is it's probably going to start around 10:20 or so. I think we'll be able to pull off another show before I got to go to bed. So thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the conversation, Moonstone Mamas. Thank you, Paul. If there's anyone else out there lurking, being quiet, thank you. I'll be back at probably about 10:20 with another box, and hopefully we will be able to find some cool stuff. I'm gonna put these all in a box. It's just like, it feels like too many maybes, but I can organize all these maybes into dates. Like Paul, you were saying, if I organize them all into dates, then I can just take out all the dates from all the maybe piles, and we can basically have better information while looking at them, and we can find some stuff. Okay, thank you so much for watching, Moonstone Mamas. I wish you a good night's sleep. Have happy dreams, and I'll see the rest of you guys in about 20 minutes. Thank you all for watching, and I will have a ton of streams this weekend. Thanks so much, everyone. See you guys soon. See you in the future.